That's why I was saying, like, when he's in the video being like, you're not one of those secret conservatives recording me, right? It's like he's starting to think, wait a minute, did I just spill the beans on this one?
Yeah.
But ultimately, I guess here's my question. We'll make it political. Like, what do we do about it? So this guy said this thing, okay? He did. It's a fact. He said it. James O'Keefe has done his due diligence and shown this guy is listed as having this job. Yeah. So what do we get? Like, should the Republicans subpoena this guy?
I would think so. Yeah.
They're doing the COVID investigation. Mm-hmm. They're launching that. What do we get out of it? Do you think anything will come of it?
Well, hopefully we get some sunlight and we get to actually see once and for all, maybe not everything we want to see, but we get some very basic questions asked. I mean, I think this just goes into the file of all the other evidence we have. I mean, everything that's happening right now in the medical community, died suddenly, all that. The questions that people have, I would add this to that long list, and that this guy should be subpoenaed. You know, he should be questioned, or the folks that work for him, his supervisor. I mean, this just gives us a good starting point.
I think it's interesting that he is so comfortable with this information that, you know, first, second, third date, he's talking about it, right? Like, that's unusual. Everyone has a first date anecdote that they, you know, bring out to like show your personality or whatever, and this is his.
Right.
So that means that he's in an environment where they're openly talking about this comfortably, right? Yeah. Like, this can't be the only person, and he can't have only told a Project Veritas person about this. Like, who else? And that means that this is something that because what struck me about the first video is him saying like, oh yeah, it could be bad for America, but it's good for us. And then in this video, he's like talking about himself. How could he ever trust anything? Like, it's only self-centered motivation.
Yeah. Do you think the Republican Congress is actually going to do legitimate investigations into all of these issues? I mean, it's not just the pandemic stuff. Right. You got the Hunter Biden stuff. We talked about this before they narrowly won. But we're not entirely confident. I mean, we as in the people on the show, that Kevin McCarthy is actually going to give us real investigations.
So far, so good. I mean, I think what the direction they're heading right now, they're putting the right people on those committees. I mean, MTG is on the COVID committee. I mean, that's pretty awesome. We've got Jim Jordan, Dan Bishop, and a couple other fighters that are on the Government Accountability, the Modern Day Church Committee, going after the intelligence community, going after the administrative state. So we've got the right people lined up. Now, a big question is, what can they do? They can issue subpoenas. Unfortunately, since the budget got approved, all these different agencies, they have their money. So these agencies can do what they just did with Jim Jordan. He issued some subpoenas, and they said, the DOJ said, we'd love to help. However, this stuff's all under investigation, so we can't help you. So Congress is a little bit limited in saying that, hey, if you guys don't show up and participate, we are going to withhold some of your funding. That's not going to be available till next year. But I think right now, the direction things are heading, I think we will start getting some answers at least.
My biggest fear is not about answers, it's that we'll get some kind of answers, but there will be nothing that's done. Like, we could find out terrible things, that Pfizer's doing awful things, but because the executive branch is a Democrat and it's Joe Biden, I don't see him actually making a move.
But this is exactly why I asked it. James O'Keefe does this sting operation, gets a pretty damning quote from someone high up at Pfizer, be it a consultant or otherwise. Maybe he's lying, sure. This warrants, in my opinion, investigation.
Absolutely.
But it's not even about the executive branch. It's like, so we have this panel, of course, of people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are they going to issue the subpoenas? Are they actually going to get documents? Are they actually going to make people come in and testify, even beyond the executive branch? But I think your point's better, that we can maybe assume Marjorie Taylor Greene's definitely going to do something.
Yeah.
But then what? The DOJ does nothing.